So before I begin, we want to thank Torah Anytime for spreading Torah and Yiddishkeit around the world. And I think they're the biggest, as we always say, last week we said too, they're the biggest yeshiva in the world. So if you have any extra ma'aseh money, you can always send it over to Torah Anytime. So if anyone wants the number, you can write it down. It's 072-398-2980. Extension, special Atzmi extension, 22387. Since nobody wrote it down, so after the speech, if you're really interested, you can ask me for it. Also, last year's Drushas had over 800 views on it. So instead of just keeping the shefa to yourself, you can tell your friends, of course, and spread the wealth to all your family members and all your siblings. Okay, with that out of the way, let's begin. So everyone, welcome to Shabbos Atzmi number 2. I want to welcome our returning members of last year, and I'd love to, yes, we have a bunch of those. And I also want to welcome our new members, Met Hashem, they'll return next year for number 3, or in a few months. And thank you for the old members for spreading the amazing Shabbos they had with Shabbos Atzmi and convincing so many new bochum to join us. So let's go back to 1981, before I was born, before all of you were born. 1981 was a very special year. Does anybody know what came out in 1981? No one. The first personal computer came out in 1981, created by Morty? IBM. IBM came out with the first computer in 1981. And you can imagine, until then, computers were only located in universities. Only extremely wealthy people had a separate room that hosted a huge computer. And 1981, IBM came with the first computer. So now IBM wanted to make it exciting. So they joined forces with Kellogg's, and they said that they're putting 2 free tickets, which will earn you a computer, in Rice Krispie boxes across the United States. And that's what they did. And can you imagine how many boxes of Rice Krispies were bought in that week, 2 weeks? People were buying Rice Krispies, they're eating it day and night just to get the first chance to get the first computer. One day, Tuesday afternoon, little Johnny, 10 years old, comes home. He saved up a few dollars, actually a few cents back in the days, and bought himself a box of Kellogg's in some rural town in Wisconsin. And inside, he has a ticket to a brand new computer. Versteht sich, the New York Times, all came down, excited, wow, little Johnny won. 3 days later, Scott, who's 85, lives on a farm in Nebraska, buys himself his first box of Kellogg's since he's been 5, and he opens up and he wins also. So you can imagine little Johnny, the day arrives, the computer arrives through UPS, and all the media is outside his house. They drop off this box with the first computer ever used by a person in his own house. And little Johnny's so excited, his parents help him with this computer, and he excitedly rushes into his room, puts it down on the desk, plugs it in, gut nicht, doesn't turn on. He tries this, he tries that. 5, 10 minutes go by, this computer's not turning on. And he's getting upset, more and more upset. You can imagine the media outside with all the cameras trained in every window, everywhere, waiting for it to come out and show how excited he is with the first computer. Half hour goes by, 45 minutes go by, gut nicht. Suddenly, they hear a window breaking, computer comes flying at one window. 3 seconds later, the mouse comes out a different window. 5 seconds later, the keyboard comes out a different window, and you hear screaming from inside. This stupid company, IBM, can't produce a normal computer, it doesn't turn on, it's worthless, it's not worth the plastic, and he's screaming and he's mad. The media, imagine New York Times next day highlights IBM, a scam, worth nothing, and you can imagine Fox News had the opposite, that the boy was too stupid. You can imagine the media was going leibedik. 2 days later, the computer arrives in Scott's house in Nebraska, 85-year-old, he's so excited. Since he's a little kid, he's heard of the idea of a computer. He's so excited to open a box with a computer, and he's psyched. Steigt sich the media again. Kids this time they come with helmets because they don't want to get hit by a computer. Kids he brings the computer in. Same thing, 10 minutes later, 10 minutes go by, Scats plugs it in, nothing's working. He says, how foolish I am. IBM, the famous IBM, created the first computer. And ich scheiter can't figure out how to turn it on. When we were all little kids, the Eibishter created us. We had so much Chaim, we were so happy. Remember when you were 5 years old, you're driving your bike down a mountain, backwards, blindfolded, in incoming traffic. You were mischievous, you had ideas. You had that inner chiyus, you made people laugh around you. You had aspirations. Remember the aspirations we all had? One guy's going to be a tool man, one guy's going to be a billionaire, one guy's going to be an askin, the fourth guy's going to be all three put together. Everyone had their dreams, the aspiration. What am I going to turn out to be? I'm going to be this guy, I'm going to be that guy. Everyone had aspirations. We had these great ideas. We had such laughter. We had such happiness. And then what happens is we turn 13, 14, 15, and what happens? We enter Shivik Tana, and life slows down a bit. We start getting complicated. We start having self-doubt. Who are we? What are we worth? Who am I? We start craving independence. We don't want to listen to anyone. Keine versteht mich nicht. The yeshiva is bad. My parents don't understand. My neighbor doesn't understand me. And then we start doubting ourselves. We start, am I worthy? Am I someone that's worthy for an neshama? Am I worthy to live? Who am I? What's the purpose? And you start questioning yourself. You start doubting yourself. You start pitting yourself. And then some people, unfortunately, lose that inner Chaim, that inner spark that we have when we were kids. But we forget that's not like that. The Eibishter created a perfect computer. We either could be the child who says his computer is messed up, IBM is a scam, and throws the computer out. Or we could be the Zayda and says, if Eibishter, the designer of this computer, was the Eibishter himself. Our Father in Shemayim created this computer. He didn't make a mistake. The designer of this computer cannot make a mistake. Eibishter is perfect. He created us. Yes, I know, we downloaded some things we should have downloaded. We caught some viruses, right? We didn't update certain things, and the computer is slowing down. It's not working properly. But don't forget, the IBM computer was still created by the Eibishter. It wasn't created by a scam. It was created by the perfect designer. So Shabbosim Atzmi, what's the purpose of Shabbosim Atzmi? Why are we here? Shabbosim Atzmi is a time we go away from our daily life, go away from Yerushalayim, come out into nature, to refigure out who are we? What's our Keichas HaNefesh? To rekindle who we are, and to rediscover that the designer of our bodies, the designer of our neshama, the designer of who we are, and where we come from, is perfect. There's no mistake. There was no mistake. And Pinchas Katz, I know he's hiding in a corner somewhere, was Moshe Nefesh to build this beautiful organization together with the David Hershkowitz, and Chaim. And they believe in this mission to help Bukhrim rediscover the inner fire that some of us lost, and learn new things that we weren't taught, download new programming. And they paid so much money to the most amazing speakers. We have a Shlomo Elef with a question on Yiddishkeit, a question on relationship. Shlomo Elef is the perfect person. He's here for you 24/7. Any question, any time. There's no questions here which you cannot ask. Every question. You have something in your mind that's bothering you, ask Shlomo Elef. You're scared about Shadichim, you're scared about marriage, ask our most amazing Rabbi Sharf. Any question you have. If you think of Mashiach, you can speak to Rabbi Katz, maybe you can help me with that. If you need a good bottle of wine, you can ask Rabbi Etrog. We have everything covered here. So I want to end off with a very famous quote. I'm saying it's famous, but maybe it's not. Maybe you never heard of it. It's a very, very deep quote, and it took me a few minutes to chap it. It goes like this: the 5 colors make a man blind. The 5 tones make people deaf. So I read this line, I was confused. What does it mean? What does this line mean? And I thought into it. That we're trained that there's 5 colors. Right? Trained, this is what it is, there's 5 colors. We're trained as 5 tones, right? If you do music, there's 5 tones, you do voice training, there's 5 tones. We're trained, that's what it is. And everyone accepts it. And I realized that people accept that there are 5 colors. This is who I am, kacha, this is how I was created, I'm like this is who I am, that's who I know to be, and that's who I am. You limit yourself to 5, 6 things, and zero. And that makes people blind. you don't see yourself properly. You don't see yourself, and you don't see yourself in a proper perspective, who you are, because you're seeing yourself so limited and so like scientifically. I'm 5 things. This is who I am. I'm limited. This is how Hashem created me, and zero. Now I'm excused. That makes us blind. So the Shabbos Atzmi is about making us have more than 5 colors. We're way more than 5 colors. We're way more beautiful than 5 colors. There's much more shades of us. There's much of a purpose to us. So I wish everyone, give everyone a bracha, the Shiur Shabbos Atzmi properly. I say this with 100% sincerity, I wish I had this opportunity to sit in the crowd like this and had real renowned speakers open my heart. So I want to introduce our first Chushev guest, Rishonim Melech, all the way from America, who's going to open our hearts. And Rishonim Melech is known with his background, through his Hasidus, through his therapy, through everything to open a person's mind. So be open-minded and rediscover yourself.